Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, as the topic of typecasting is continued, and we have discussed that we are having the implicit typecasting and explicit typecasting. Normally, implicit typecasting is done through the compiler by itself without any intervention of the user or the programmer. When smaller data type is automatically converted into the higher data type automatically by the compiler, then this type of typecasting is also known as implicit typecasting or automated type conversion. The explicit typecasting is forcefully done because such situations come in real time where the type of the data has to be converted. So we have seen the syntax to convert one data type into another data type. Here an example is given. These are the things that are normally we are writing in our every program, and we are declaring and assigning the value 10 to the variable x of type integer. We are declaring the variable y of character type. The value a is assigned to variable y. Single quotation marks indicates that it will be dealt as the character, not a variable. ये एक कैरेक्टर है अल्फ़ाबेट में, जिस तरह से A B C D होता है, बिल्कुल उसी तरह से एक कैरेक्टर के तौर पर ट्रीट करेगा. Then if you would like to assign or update or modify the value of x through this statement that x is assigned the summation of x plus y, we know that the value of this x is 10, and we know that y is assigned the value a, so 10 plus a, but we know that ultimately it has to convert into the integer type. So this value of a will be converted into the integer. How? We know that each character, each alphabet, each symbol is having the unique ASCII code. I hope so that you have gone through this terminology in your previous courses, that ASCII ASCII means American Standard Code for Information Interchange. The interaction between the computers is done throughout the coding schemes. We have many variations of the coding schemes like ASCII code and extended ASCII codes, Unicodes, BCD codes. I hope so that you have heard about that, and so on. There is a complete background why we are using the coding scheme. One way that we have learned that the values are to be converted into the binary by dividing the values by 2, and finally the values come into the form of ones and zeros. But it is impossible all the times that the system is consuming its CPU cycles or other resources which are very much essential and useful resources into this division. The actual purpose of the computer is lost. The actual purpose of processor, the CPU, is to perform the computation. So the alternative method is the coding schemes. From 0 to 9, we are having unique type of digits. 0 is different from the 1, 1 is different from 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. But onwards from the 9, we are having the combination of these digits, like 10 is the combination of 1 and 0. 1 1 becomes 11, and so on. So these digits are mapped through the different binary codes, and it is known as, it is also called technically as the mapping of the codes. This is somehow lookup method. बिल्कुल इसी तरह से कि आपके पास ये 0 से 9 तक कोड्स लिखे हुए हैं, चाहे आपके पास कोई भी एक वैल्यू आ जाए, फॉर एग्जांपल 65,536. If you divide this value, it will consume so many CPU cycles. But we are having the alternative coding schemes, coding techniques. And how can we done that? 65,536. 6, we will see at the table that 6 is equivalent to what code? 5 is equivalent to what code? Again 6 or 5 is equivalent to what code? 3 is equivalent to this, and these codes are already written in the binary language. So we are not going into the detail of this one. You can go for Google to understand the coding schemes or the difference between the conversion and the coding or translating. So what happens finally, this value has to be converted into the integer data type. So there must be some ASCII value of this character A, and that is the 97. You can go for the searching in the Google, and you will find out that every symbol is having its ASCII code. So 97 is in fact stored into this Y variable, and 97 plus 10, it becomes 107. So again, another example is that we are having float x plus 1.0. Although this x is of the float type, in the previous example means same, it is continued, this is continued, and when we are printing them, then the value of x is what should be printed over here? It should be printed the value of x, that is in fact 107. that is the value of x, and y is what? Y is the value that is the a, not a 97, remember, because it is not converted, it is just printing the value of y. So finally the value of y is updated over here, not anywhere else. The x value has been updated in two places, initially 10 and finally x. So the final result will be printed, obviously. So y is here and the value of y is a, that is the character, and y is also the type of character. So the output should be a, and z is what? That is 107 plus 1.0, so it should be 108.0, and that is 108. Then we are having the example of explicit typecasting. Example, so that is the x is the type of double. It is very much similar to the float, but its range is more than the float type. So x is assigned the value 1.2. We have the sum variable of type integer. We have to store the value of this double type as the integer into the sum variable. So it makes it as the integer, and integer what the value should be, 1.2. 0.2 will be removed and 1 will be assumed. So the value of this typecast is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 at summation, and when we are printing it, so the output should be the 2 and not 2.2 because of type conversion. Another important techniques that we are using normally in our program to flourish, to fascinate our program, to facilitate the program, and the convenient use of the manipulators. As the name suggests that it manipulates something, manipulators are the instructions to the output stream that modify the output in various ways. Although the terminology we are reading at this moment, but we have used it many times. We will see in a few moments that what the manipulators are. One important thing is to remember that whenever you are using the manipulators, one more header file should be added, should be written at the top of your program, at the start of program, at the beginning of your program. That is the hash include less than sign, iomanip and greater than sign. iomanip means input output manipulators. In short, iomanip. End line that we are using in our statements in many programs end line in fact is the manipulator. The end line manipulator is also the instruction to the output stream Cout, which manipulates, modifies the output displayed in the console screen. Console means when you are executing your program, some black screen comes before you, like the command prompt, like the DOS, that is known as the console. Console means normally you are dealing or you are interacting with the machine through console, means through the keyboards, not with the mouse. There is no useful usage of the mouse, but the keyboard is the essential component that is used to interact with console screens. So the end line manipulator used in the output stream Cout causes the line feed. I told you that two interrelated or two terminologies are used. One is known as the line feed and second is the carriage return. Line feed means to go to the next line, and carriage return means start of the line. When we are pressing the enter key from the keyboard, it performs these two operations by default automatically. It goes onto the next line, and it goes at the start of the line. And this concept is conceived from the typewriter, as we have discussed little in previous lectures. Another example is hash include IOStream, hash include conio.h, voidman, and so on. Cout computer is an electronic device, and then we are having the manipulator, end L means end line. It accepts the input end line. It produces the output end line. It can store huge amount of data, end line gets it. The output must be as in this way. Every sentence is written in separate lines. Computer is an electronic device. It accepts the input. It produces the output. It can store huge amount of data. Another example of the manipulator is the set W, means set width. The set W manipulator changes the field width of the output. It aligns the output in right justified manner, as you have done many times. You are experienced in the MS Word. For example, iomanip header file should be added to these header files. So integer type A, B, C, D, E are declared over here and assigned the different values. So Cout A in double quotes means as it is will be printed on the screen. A will be printed without these quotations, obviously. And then set 8, it has set the width of 8, and then the actual value is to be printed through this A variable, and end line is there. Same thing is done in this second line, third line, fourth line, and finally in fifth line. I hope so that you will write this program and you will find you will observe the output and alignments by changing these values. It is done why? Because our screen is all the times it is divided into number of rows, limited number of rows and limited number of columns. So each pixel represents the entirely different row and the column. So pixel to pixel or column to column, row to row, set W deals with the rows, in fact, with the columns, rather it deals with the columns horizontally. So it will show you the outputs in different formats. Another manipulator is the set precision manipulator. The set precision manipulator, the syntax of this one is the set precision and n is any number that we are providing, the decimal places. Why it is used? For example, 2.143, this is the result, and we would like to make some precise this one. So set precision means how many decimal points should be appeared at the output. So output decimal numbers with up to n decimal places must include the header file iomanip, as I have told you. I hope so that you will write this program along with this set precision, along with the end line manipulator, and you will observe the changes. Another thing is the escape sequences in C++. Although it consists of two characters, it represents single character. Each escape sequence has unique ASCII value. Each and every combination starts with backslash. This is the syntax to write any escape sequence. It will be started with the backslash. So the escape sequences are in fact special characters used in control string to modify the format of output. These characters are not displayed in the output. These characters are used in combination with backslash. The backslash is called escape character. Different escape sequences are available in the C++ language, and these escape sequences are non-printable. It is not the concern that how many escape sequences you have used in C++ program. They will never be printed because it just facilitates the programmer to facilitate its program and so on. This table is given to you. I hope so. It should be readable. If it is not so, you can go for any book or you can Google anything. So the first escape sequence is the A, in fact. This A is the escape sequence, it will produce the alarm or some kind of beep will be produced by the CPU. छोटी सी टोन होती है जो अक्सर आपके लैपटॉप या सिस्टम्स जनरेट करते हैं. That if you would like to use this beep or this tone, this small alarm in your program, you can write the backslash and a anywhere in your program. Wherever the backslash a will be used as the escape sequence, then the beep will be produced. Again, backslash b is used to backspace. As in the keyboard, the backspace key is available. The same function can be performed in program through the backslash b. F, that is the form field, I told you. N, backslash n escape sequence is used to go for the new line, next line, as the AND L manipulator is doing. You can replace AND L with backslash n. R for the carriage return. I told you that what is the function of the carriage return to go for the start of the line. T for the tab, as the function is available, the key is available on the keyboard, it will jump to the different special positions. That is, special means SPATIAL, special positions, special locations, it will jump from one column to another column. Then we have many other escape sequences available in the C++ language. I hope so that you got it and you enjoy the lecture. Thank you very much.